Hello again, everybody. It's Patrick. It's after work. It's a very foggy day out today. I don't know if you can see behind me. It's like very low visibility. That's about 4:15. I got out in a pretty good amount of time. I picked up one extra visit. I planned on 3. And by sort of a happy coincidence, one of the people I was planning on seeing today, I usually see on Tuesday. But that person called me up and asked for a visit today, so their request actually lined up exactly with what would have been easiest for my schedule this week, so that was a stroke of luck. I was kind of poring over my schedule on Sunday, and then, the first thing that I do is kind of get a bare bones in the scheduler of who needs to be seen on what day at the minimum. When certain events are due, or, supervisions or procedures, or when the routine assessment is due by. And then I go back and I fill it in based on what I think the person might need, or what the 12 people might need, and kind of fill it in that way. And this week I kind of had a little conundrum, which was that a whole bunch of people all needed to be seen on the same day. So that took me a little puzzling over to see who I could move later, who I could move earlier, and things like that. And it actually worked out pretty good. I got everything down to a manageable 3 to 4 visits a day, which still gives me time to go see somebody extra if something comes up. So that worked out pretty nicely. Sent a lot of inter-office memos today, a lot of interdepartmental communication, which was always nice. I try to keep my emails short, but I do have a tendency to kind of ramble on a little bit. I'm going to be making a joint visit later on this week with one of the social workers, where I go on a visit with another staff member. So that should be pretty interesting. I haven't done that on purpose before. I've done that to show people around, and I'm taking people out on visits to show them the ropes or whatever. But this time there will be an actual purpose for making a joint visit, so that'll be a new experience for me. That'll be pretty interesting. Yeah, pretty busy week this week. I got a lot of homework due. The major one is by Sunday I've got to do another assessment video, and then this is the final assessment video, which doesn't include any health history stuff, but it's going to be everything in the 2 videos prior, plus a little bit more stuff on the musculoskeletal system. And this one I'm a little bit more nervous about, because you have to get an 80 or higher to pass the class, regardless of what your average is. And on the video I did last on the chest and abdomen assessment, I only got a 70 on, which I would be more surprised about if I hadn't gotten such good scores in all the other ones. I figured I was doing just as good a job on this one as I did on the last ones, but I got some good targeted feedback, and I'm confident that I can pull it together with the feedback, but it's a little bit higher pressure. It's due on Sunday. I had somebody volunteer saying they were available on Wednesday, but getting all my notes and my studying in order before I actually go and do it will be a little bit tight. And then on the weekend I got to get those 2 papers written, so that will take up a considerable chunk of my time that I usually like to spend lounging around reading other things. But I just have to put my nose to the grindstone for a week and get all my stuff, all my projects in, and that should be that. I think we're having an inauguration today in New London, inaugurating the new mayor. You might have heard about this. That should be a good time. Everybody's pretty excited about it. I don't actually live in that town, but I've been thinking about moving there. And nobody's really made a big deal out of the mayoral elections in any of the neighboring towns. So this is the big one that everybody's been focused so intently on. I've never seen my circle of acquaintances so worked up over a political election. It's pretty interesting. A lot of them were not really interested in politics at all, and now they are. So that's been kind of an interesting transition see happen. Kind of ripple through the local social circles. I'm having trouble coming up with things to talk about. I've noticed it's a lot harder for me to deal with, like just in terms of like organization and like staying on task. Having everything be routine is a lot harder for me to deal with than there being problems, you know, or like some kind of troubleshooting to do, or some kind of change, or you know, some kind of fire to put out. Actually having a bunch of relatively stable patients is like more of a challenge to me for some reason. It's a lot different than when I was a per diem and like, you know, I was going places because either there was a problem or somebody else needed help with their schedule or whatever. And then at the nursing home, you know, it was all problems all the time. You know, it was like running around putting out fires constantly. But keeping up with the routine stuff is like a whole different set of challenges, and I guess is the kind of thing that's always been a little more difficult for me to organize a routine where I'm not responding to things going wrong. I'm making sure things don't go wrong later, which of course is always part of something that we do. But when the focus is on that, it's taken a little bit of adjustment. I feel like I've talked about this already. Whatever. I almost caught myself about to start talking about the weather again. No talking about the weather. Yeah, I don't think this truck is moving. Nope, the guy got out of the truck. Yeah, I guess I better go around him. There's this semi, you can't see this right now, but there's this semi, like just parked right in the middle of the road with hazard lights on, not going anywhere. I wonder if I can fit. I guess I'll give it a shot. Oh, here he goes. Yeah, this guy's trying to direct traffic, but I don't think he knows what he's doing. He's holding a hand out at me, so I'm going to stay put for now. Yeah, I'm still having trouble deciding what I want to do on the apartment versus the house. It's like looking at my paychecks and stuff, and the apartment that I was looking at was expensive enough that it would cost a little under half of my monthly income, assuming I don't pick up any shifts or anything. But I do really like the place, but it seems like an awful lot of money to spend for an apartment. I don't know, it's hard to figure out. The apartment is something I could do soon, whereas the house is something I wouldn't be able to do for, you know, until I saved up a down payment, which would take me a year, maybe more. Alright, screw it, I'm going. No, I almost feel like I could take on more patients on my caseload, but I really just kind of want to mellow out at 12 for a while and just really get a hang of the routine. They had a craft fair at work today. That was kind of cool. Had all sorts of people selling these fancy wine glasses and like different kind of things. I didn't really have time to check it out. I just kind of walked past on my way out to start my visits. Well, it's kind of interesting that they would set up a craft fair in our like meeting room. It's kind of like one of those things that has a divider where you can split up into 2 rooms and just like open it up all the way. Well, the beard is coming along, as you can see. I'm kind of getting somewhere on that. It's weird because there's a spot that's like white up here, so it looks like it's like patchy. Like I don't have hair there, but it's really just white in that section. It always kind of throws me off because it's like not symmetrical. I don't have one on the other side. I think I read somewhere that different kinds of stress make different hair on your body turn white. I don't know if that's true or not. But I had the part just under my lip. That went white relatively young, like in my early 20s maybe. Man, it's like the fog is just confusing everybody. Everybody's driving so erratically today. Like weaving around. Alright, I made it. Alright, well, that was kind of boring. I apologize. Maybe I'll have something interesting to say next time.